Can you hear me now? Oh, you can hear me now? Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, I guess this little thing didn't work. Okay. So, since we're on that topic, is it louder than normal? Because I do have the microphone hooked up. So if you can tell the difference, would you let me know if you think it is louder than it usually is? Because, I get quite a few comments about people can't hear me. So it's comfortable. All good. It's perfect. It is louder. Awesome. Loud and clear, but there's a little bit of static. Okay. Good to know. Thank you. Yes, it is louder. Louder than usual. Awesome. Okay. Well, we're just going to leave it at that. If the static is too bad, tell me and I'll unhook the microphone and we'll just go back the way it was. So, I kind of played with the settings on my phone because I think that's been my problem to get the microphone to work. I don't know if you know this or not, but Samsung Galaxy 21 really didn't have an option where you could hook up an external microphone or earbuds. So then they finally came out with a plug that you could plug into the phone where you normally put in for the battery or for the charger. And so sometimes it seems to work okay, and sometimes it doesn't. So my microphone, yeah. So anyway, all right, let's get back to it. So today, if you don't know, we're going to work on pressed flowers, quilt block. This is Sew Sampler project from the Fat Quarter Shop. And I'm behind. I'm on block 9. I've had it ready, but we are sewing this together, so I didn't want to really jump ahead. I do have it cut out and ready to go. And then if I have time, I'm going to start on block 10. So I might not get it all done today, but you never know. We might. So let me go back into the chat, and we got a bunch of other people here. Don't forget to do the thumbs up, you guys. I really appreciate that. And yeah, and also I'm displaying to you my horse. It's not quilted yet, but it is done, and I pretty much got the eyes done. I put little stars. I had star fabric, so I put the stars in for the eyes for that, because you got to put like a reflection, a light of some sort in the eyeball, so that it looks like it's more alive. Otherwise, it just, it makes it kind of flat. And so, if that makes sense to you. Anyway, and I was going to show you the fabric I have for the next one. Yeah, I'm going to do some more of these, but it's in the blue and brown and teal colorway, and I think it's going to be really pretty. So yeah, I've already got started on that downstairs. So anyway, yeah, I'm really enjoying doing that, and I'm going to be doing a fundraiser for my brother. And if you guys remember, a few months ago, he has diverticulitis, and he had to go in for emergency surgery, and he ended up going in twice for the surgery. He got a abscess in the intestinal tract, something got stuck in there and it became abscessed and he had to go in for emergency surgery. Well, and he's doing okay, but they had to like reroute stuff, and so he has a temporary coloscopy bag, and they're going to go in March and try to put everything back together. And so, needless to say, he could use some help. I don't have it set up right now, but I'm going to set up like a fundraiser for him. So be looking for that this week. If you're interested, I'm going to sell tickets for this one and for the other one that I'm doing. That's why I'm doing them in different colorways. So if you win, you can pick, you could be the first one to pick. So I have like 3 or 4 winners, and the first winner could pick their color, and then the second person can pick their color, and so on and so forth. So I'm trying to figure out how I do like sell tickets or something like that. So I'm trying to figure all that out. But anyway, look for that next week, and next week I'll come on when I get it all set up and talk more about it. So if you have any ideas how to do that with Facebook and PayPal and all that stuff, leave me a comment under the video, not in the chat, but under the video, if you have some ideas of how I can get that going for him. It would really help, and I would really appreciate it. So, yeah, you can buy tickets if you're in Canada. Yeah, yeah. I'll mail it to Canada. I don't know about the other countries though. Let me think about that. All right. Um, I would. I need to find out like how much it would cost to send something like that. Like I could weigh it and then talk to the person down at the post office box and see how much it would cost to send it to like the UK or Australia or other places like that. And if it's not too much, too heavy of a price, like I would feel okay with like around $40 if that's all it was shipping, because I know how expensive shipping has got. So let me check into that, and that'll be one of the questions that I answer. Kind of, no, I don't really want to do an auction because I want to leave it out there available for a week or two so that everybody gets a chance. If I just do an auction, then it's just the people that are here right now in the chat, or when I do the auction, it would be just the people. And so I would want everybody to, have the opportunity. So like I said, I either do a live or just a regular video, and I'll say when it starts, and then we'll run it. I'll run it for like maybe the month of February, because his birthday's in February. So I'll run it for the month of February, and then, something like that. Have an auction on a live. I could do like a couple of them where they're tickets, and then, or I could do like an auction. Yeah, a lot of you are saying an auction, so yeah, a virtual ticket. That's what I'm thinking. So anyway, I got to figure all that out, and when I do, I'll let you all know. But in the meantime, we're doing this. I also might have a quilt available also, besides these. It would be like a lap size type quilt that I might do in an auction or something like that. But it would all be for to raise funds for my brother Steve. Anyway, also today, the 28th, would have been my dad's 84th birthday. had he still be, if he was still here with us, he would have been. So happy heavenly birthday to my dad. Also, I wanted to do a shout out to Harper, who is Donna's granddaughter. Her birthday is today. So happy birthday, Harper. If you guys, get a chance, go over to her Facebook. You can get there through Donna. Handmade by Ying with Donna is her YouTube. I'll put it in here real quick. And she would love to hear happy birthday wishes, I'm sure. So let me put Donna's YouTube. Make sure this is working. Thank you, Valerie. Yeah, I have a silent auction and leave it open for a month. Oh, okay. Where is a paper? I got to write down these great ideas. Okay, so we're going to get behind here a little bit on getting sewing because I'm going to, of course, I could always come back and read the chat and write all these down. Maybe that's what I'll do. Great ideas. Keep the ideas coming. I was thinking about talking to Beth from Goody Goods because she sells tickets to do like quilting, and so I was thinking about talking to her and see how she goes about that. I do have like a PayPal, but I would like there to be another way for people to pay, and I know there are some phone apps that you can use for that, so I need to check into it. Yeah, I would definitely try an easier one, Joyce, than the horse, especially if it's your first time, because it is a little fiddly, you know. So try to get one that doesn't have the fabric, like this one, you put a piece of fabric down, and then there's another, you have to put a piece of fabric on top of that one, but you don't know where to lay it because you've already covered up the pattern, right? And so then you have to lift that piece back up and see where to lay the other piece. So it is definitely a little fiddly. I think you can do it. I really think you can do it, but just keep that in mind. You have to really kind of have to fiddle around with it. So, hi, Linda. How are you doing? Okay, we have Shirley. Hello. Hello, Joyce. Hi, Valerie. Let me just go up and say hi to a few people. Donna Bogart. Let's see. Glenda, hello. Shelly Clark, hello. A Woolly Girl. Pam, right? Is that Pam? I hope that's right. Andrea, hello. Susan, hello. Kathleen, hello. Beverly, hello. Hello, Debbie from In Quilt Vic. How are you doing? I was over at your live for a little while today, but I couldn't stay too long. I had a bunch to do here. Sorry. I'll have to go back and watch the replay. A lot of people saying they love the horse. Thank you. Hi, Laura from Arizona. Polly, I hear a little static on my phone, but none on the TV. Okay, thank you. I thought you might be, Andrea. One of these days, I'm also thinking about getting one of those other live streams because YouTube doesn't do closed caption on a live stream, but Zoom does, and some of the other streaming devices do. So I'm thinking about switching over so that people who have a hard time hearing, I can actually have the words down there for you. Hi, Kara. Okay. Alrighty. Hi, Tessa. Hello, June. Hi, Joan. Um, okay, I'm sorry if I missed you guys. If I missed you, thank you. Thank you, Debbie. Irene, hello. Um, Janetta, hello. Pam is right. Awesome. Okay, so, and we have another Pam. Hi, Pam Freeman. How are you doing? Could you trace the picture on your fabric, then lay it down on the piece, down, or would it still be covered up? Well, if you have a light box, and that's what you might try. I don't have a light box, so that's on my wish list. They have a really cool one, that's pretty big, and you can actually cut on it. I can't remember what the name of that one is, but that's the one I want. I think I have it in my Amazon wish list because it's not cheap. It's like $160 or something like that. Anyway, if you had a light box, or maybe if you hung it up in a bright window, you might be able to see through it. What I would do, if you end up not being able to see through it, rather than mark on your fabric, I would make the pattern darker. So take a really black permanent marker and trace over the main pattern, and then lay it down on the light box or the window on a sunny day, and then see if you can see through it, through the fabric. That's how I would try it first. Okay. If you decide that you want to trace over your fabric and you use a friction pen, test it on your fabric first, because I have noticed on batik fabric, when I use a friction pen, it will discolor the fabric when you remove the mark. Okay, so be really careful about that. Maybe use a white chalk pencil, and then you can brush that away. Also, if you're going to use the water soluble pens, test that too, because I've had those lift the ink from the fabric before also. Batiks, you have to be a little more careful with batiks when you're using these other pens and stuff on them. So just keep that in mind. Always test on a piece of fabric before you try something out, right? Because I don't want you to do all that work and then, it's messed up. So I have the link for the online raffle generator that I will email to you. Okay, that would be great. Thanks, Andrea. Hi, Katie. Yes, the caterpillar. That's it. That's the one. Mine is an old X-ray reader that my daughter found for me, and it works great. Wow, that sounds pretty cool. Okay, Billy. You should do it as selling an X number of tickets at the price to raise a decent amount. Close when you sell that number of tickets. A friend does it that way to raise funds for her firehouse. Okay, that's an idea. I might do like a couple of different types of things, like one, like do a raffle on one and maybe auction on the other and kind of see how they go. So Becca uses, hi Teresa, she uses a software, and that's how she's able to get the captions. I can't remember what it's called. It's not Zoom. Uh, stream, stream something, and so streaming app has that option, and so does Zoom. So that's why I want to switch over. Yeah, Donna, that's how she was able to do closed caption is because she doesn't go directly through YouTube. Okay. Hi, Kim. StreamYard. Yeah, that's it. StreamYard. Thank you. I knew somebody would figure that out. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let's see what Pam said something here. Let me look. I use a micro pen 01 to trace my pattern onto my muslin fabric. Oh, that's a good idea too. Now see, I could have done that because I did iron that on to a piece of muslin, and so I could have traced those pieces that overlap onto the muslin first, and then I could have been able to tell. Now, before I get started on this, the reason why I don't just do it all on the muslin, like iron all my pieces as I go on the muslin, is because I might want to take it back up. And the fusible that I'm using doesn't lift back up off of the fabric once you've pressed it down very well at all. So that's why I use a piece of parchment paper instead of Teflon. You could use your Teflon, um, yeah, your Teflons instead of parchment. I just like the parchment because I can cut it out as big as I want, and it's actually a lot cheaper, and it's easier to see through. So parchment paper is in the kitchen section. Hi Sheila, how's it going? Hi Constance. I know you're here. It really helps me too when somebody new comes in, if everybody says hello to them, because then I can kind of, I'll see it in the chat a lot easier. So thank you for doing that. Plus it's just a friendly thing to do, right? Hi Janine, how's it going? You're excited to catch the live? I'm excited that you're here. Okay, so block number 9, and this is a marigold. I don't think I've ever seen a marigold this color, but I suppose you could spray dye on there. I wonder if that would work and get that color. But anyway, it is a pretty block. And I do have most of my pieces cut out already. And I jumped ahead. I did. And I got the half square triangles done. And because last time we did this together, it took just forever for me to get these done. So I thought, I'm just going to sew ahead. So that's what I did. On block number 10, all I have is cut out. I don't have anything sewn ahead. Alrighty. So there was quite a few little pieces with this one. And oh, great. Well, thank you for being here. We always love to have new people. Kara says, heat erasing pens scare me. I only use the chalk ones. Yeah, I'm real careful when I use them to mark over the fabric, but if I am like drawing the line for half square triangles, that line is going to get cut off anyway, and so, doesn't bother me to use a friction pen on those, but anywhere else, yeah, I try to be a little more careful. I usually will just use chalk pencils for that. Hello, Donna's Stitches. How are you doing? Just, I don't have as big a problem with regular fabric, but I have had problems with them, friction pens, on batik fabric. So, just be aware. And it might have just been that one piece of fabric. I don't know. I just didn't try it again. Once burnt, right? All right, so I'm going to get to sewing. How many times have I said that? My third or fourth time. How's Kim doing today? Hi, Donna. How is Harper doing for her birthday? Is she having a good day? I hope, I pray. I don't know if you heard earlier, I did a shout out for Harper for her birthday. Asked everybody to go over and wish her a happy birthday. Well, that's awesome. No, I didn't even expect you to be here today, Donna. I thought you'd be celebrating birthday today, so I'm glad you had a few minutes to pop in. Okay, so get all your pieces cut out, and first thing you're going to put together is A and D fabric. This is going to be making the half square triangles units. So A and D. It's A and H. Let me find D. So A is the background fabric and D is your dark red color. So you will need to make 4 of those. 4 of those half square triangles. And that's a D, so I'm going to put my letter back on that just because. Lurking and listening. Hi, Day. How's it going? How are you doing? And then the next one is some sew-in flips. So you need piece E, like echo, and G, like goat. And you're going to make 4 of these. Those are really pretty. You need 4 of those. Who's making this block today? Anybody? And then, okay, I think I can take the letters off of there as I go. And my clippies. And then you need to make some more half square triangles. And that is going to be A, so your background fabric, and H, that'll be your green fabric, and you need 2 of those. And I'm using Lala Boutique fabric from Christmas morning and Christmas Eve lines. So I have a little bit of each. All right, the next block you're making is B and I. B and I. I feel like I'm calling out bingo. Hi, Zach. How's it going? B and I. So, and you'll make one like this and one like this. So you need two of those. And then for the stem, you need C and J. C and J. And you need one of those. My hair's adorable. Thanks. I have it like piggy tails. But I used little clippies instead. Okay. And then we need one piece of fabric. That'll be my centerpiece. Okay, so let me get my board, and I'll lay these out. See how faster I went having these ready? Oh, thanks, Linda. Yeah, I've been wanting to do a trip around the world type quilt too. Um, all right, let me get this laid out, and then I'll show it to you. Maybe I'll put the camera down so you can see. Okay. All right, so we have a half square triangle in the upper left, and then we're going to have one of these sew and flips next, and the star points are going to be going to the inside. Hello, Rebel. How's it going? And then half square triangle. And then your leaf, half square triangle. And I'm looking at the photo, so I get these on there correctly. Okay, this piece will go right in the middle. And then another sew and flip goes here. In fact, I can just put those all down because I know where all of those go. We're making a star in the middle. Okay, and then half square triangle. And the red part points in, also there. Then this will go down here. That's my stem. And then my leaf will go here. And then the long leaves. Okay, I see I already did something wrong. These go down here. So this goes in. That is a beautiful block. Hello, Teresa. The fabric is gorgeous. Thank you, Debbie. Kara loves K Facet fabrics. Yeah, I really love some of his fabrics too. But to me, it's kind of like the Tula fabrics, you know. Either you love them. Okay, something happened here. Oh, maybe it fits on afterwards. Okay. I'm not going to stress about it yet. All right. This should be correct. Let me make sure what size that was. Okay, that size is correct. And this one is a little off, but not much. About a 1/16. So I can live with that. I can fidget in. All right. So really pretty block. And let's get it sewn together. How's Teresa McBee today? So that's what we're doing. That one right there. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to, I don't know if Jersey is out there, but this is the cup that Jersey sent me. Isn't that cute? Thank you, sweetheart. I'm using it for my tea. Thank you. Teresa says she loves the horse. Thank you. I wonder how the quilting compound, Jamie, is she here yet? I wonder how the wedding went. I think she had a wedding yesterday. Her daughter was getting married. I'm pretty sure that was yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to take those two and sew them together. Okay, first I have to check my tension because I put a new bobbin in. Okay, that looks good. All right, here we go. Oh, great, Jamie. That's awesome. Glad to hear it. Okay, I'm just going to keep sewing. I'm going to chain piece. Take those two. Teresa says, after having horses for 30 years, I'm all about them. Yeah, I bet you are. Yeah, I grew up with horses. I love horses. I can't ride anymore, but I do love them. My neighbor has quite a few horses, so I get to, I can appreciate them over there. But, you know, I can go and pet them anytime I want. Okay, I'll just keep on going here. Linda's trying to sew and watch, but her cat has other ideas. Yeah, some of those cats can be. Well, you know. Okay, so that's done. So we just sew those three together. You leave the leafy parts for the last. Okay, so you can either leave it together like this and kind of do what they call, I think, like a sew a web, right? I think it's harder to press your fabric when you do it this way, but it does keep them in order. So we haven't gotten any. Hi Maureen, how are you doing? I'll jump down here. Hi Kelly. Gotta go peel potatoes, huh? Yeah, gotta get those chores done. I do my chores in the morning. Okay, now this one. I can't write anymore either after having 9 ribs broken out or placed. Oh, broken collarbone, partial collapsed lung. No more writing, but I love them. God, sounds like my husband. He had an accident like that too, where he cracked 8 ribs, his lung collapsed, broke his scapula, and broke his left foot. He was in the hospital for quite a while. So, I know you were in some pain, girl. That was one of my flights on the helicopter. They let me fly to the hospital with him. And the helicopter ride was kind of cool. It was dark out. So, but it was kind of cool flying into Boise at night and seeing all the lights. But it was kind of scary too. I think that was my first helicopter ride. Okay, so it says to yeah, I think I remember you talking about that before, Teresa, that you used to breed them, showed them, pulled many a foal out of mama. And one of the ranches I lived on when I was a kid, my dad had quarter horses. He he was doing some work on a friend's ranch, and and of course he was alone doing this, and he was trying to move some horse panels, which are a little bit different than cattle panels. The horse ones are taller, and they weigh more. And he had one of those little excavators. It's like a backhoe, but it's one of those little ones. And he put a chain around all of them. He had like 24 of them all bunched up, and he put a chain around them. And and then he lifted the bucket up, and he got back out to check the chain again, but instead of being on the back side of everything, he went in between the excavator and the panels. When he touched that chain, they all slipped and they fell on him, and they pushed him up against the excavator and trapped him down on it. And anyway, he was trapped there for like 2 hours. I was up at the house doing some stuff, and I had laid down for a little bit, and when I woke up, I thought, where is he at? He should have been back a long time ago, you know. Um, and then I just got this funny feeling that something was wrong. And so I hauled butt down there to where he was, and it was almost dark when I found him. And yeah, I found him trapped. His lips were blue, and the machine was still running, and so he was breathing in all of that diesel, and yeah, it was pretty scary. Um, Pretty scary. Well, there was no cell phone service, of course, no cell phone service. So I had to leave him there, and he's like, "No, don't leave me." I'm like, I have to. I have to get you help." I could not lift those panels. They were way too heavy for me. I think I was able to move one of them, but I was afraid that if, without help, if I slipped at all and they fell back on him, that I would just make it worse, you know. And so I was able. He had a shovel there, and I was able to get the shovel um, pried under a little bit under the panel, and then we were able to put a log in there because some of the panels were putting weight on his legs, and he couldn't feel his legs. And I'm shocked that he didn't break a leg or two, honestly. He did break his ankle, like I said, but um, anyway, so after I did that, I left him there and went and got a phone and called the ambulance. And I knew the ambulance drivers and all that. I had their phone number in my cell phone. So after I called 911, I just called the ambulance driver and told him where I was at, because, you know, we live in a small town. Everybody knows where you are and all that stuff, you know. And so, and I said, I can't lift these panels up by myself. And so I think I ended up calling like 3 or 4 guys to come and help lift the panels off. And then I ran back over there and waited for people to show up. And they did. And so the guys got the panels off of him. And luckily, there was a bridge where he was at. And so the ambulance was able to go over the bridge and get him. And then, of course, he was too messed up for the little local hospital, so that's why we flew into Boise, Idaho. Yeah, it was pretty traumatic. It's been quite a few years ago now, and I think he still has pain from that. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I really felt helpless, you know, because I couldn't lift those panels. Um, but at least I was there and I found him, and, you know, thank God he wasn't dead, because that would have been terrible. It took me years to be able to not cry when I told this story. It has, you know, I'm surprised I didn't start crying because, yeah, it was pretty traumatic for both of us. And I stayed at the hospital with him for a week. Luckily, I had friends that could take care of the animals and everything, the dogs and chickens and all that stuff that we had, because I wasn't going to leave him, you know. Of course, he wanted me to stay home and take care of the animals, but I'm like, no, we got friends that can go do that. I'm going with you. So anyway, that's how it happened. Hi, Fallon. Yeah, they had a really hard time getting his pain under control, as you could well imagine. And after like 2 days, they gave him an epidural, and so that really helped quite a bit. So I think he was in there for about a week and a half. Now I had to have somebody bring me a car because because I had been in the helicopter, so I didn't have a car there. And then it was a pretty miserable ride home for him, because it was like 3.5 hour drive thereabouts. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and press this part. So that was the last time that I let him do any of that kind of work without there being a second person there. Yeah, it is like PSD, definitely. Yeah, definitely is. Uh, when I had my four-wheeler accident, I couldn't talk about it for a long time either. Thank you for posting links. I appreciate it. Is the bot working? It is a pretty flower block. This would be pretty just to make a quilt like this without the leaves. Yeah, poor Brandon. He's been through so much in his life, I'll tell you. He has had one tough life. Yeah, I love that star in the center too. It's really pretty. This would make a really pretty quilt on its own. Or you could do like this. Make a stem down, here, and the leaves coming up this way. Of course, you'd have to do these different. Let's see, you could do. Yeah, you'd have to make the block different, but you know what I mean. That'd be kind of cute. Oh, patriotic quilt. Yes, that would be really pretty. Wouldn't that though? Yeah, that would make a great quilt of valor. How many subscribers do you have now, Susan? No, it doesn't look like a marigold. That's for sure. But it is a pretty block. Yeah, one time, I'm waiting for let that heat up. Uh, Brandon used to dredge for gold, and so he would go places and, go dredging. Well, I was working at the time, but I had planned on taking some time off and meeting up with him, and I kind of had a general idea of where he was at, and it was in Northern California, and I got off work early, and he wasn't even expecting me. And I honestly, you guys, I do not know how I found him. And this was before the accident. Okay, I think Brandon and I have some sort of ESP thing, because I can usually track him down. Um, anyway, uh, so he's like, I think it was the American River, I think is what, something like that. I can't remember what the river was called. Anyway, it was in the mountains, and I had to go through these mountain roads and stuff like that, and I did, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but when you're on a gravel mountain road, they usually have road markers that tell you that road number. Okay, it, it's not a street name or anything like that. It's a Forest Service number. And so I had a few of those. Thank goodness I had that. Um, anyway, so I get down into this camping area, and there's nobody around at all. But I could see over on the other side of the river that there was a campfire going over there. I had no clue if that was him or not. So, and I had two dogs with me, and he had two dogs with him. So I hollered out, Poncho, and Sammy. And the dogs from his camp got all excited and started coming across the river, and that's how he knew to come over to the other side of the river. Anyway, so he came over there, and turns out he was sicker than a dog. Okay, now this is really something that you should not do. All right, let me set this up again before he had opened a can of tomato sauce, like spaghetti sauce, and he had made himself spaghetti the night before. Well, he left that spaghetti sauce in the tin can, okay? And then he ate it again the next day out of the tin can. All right, he got food poisoning. And so it was a good thing that I left early to come and be there with him. I had no idea that he was sick before I left. I had no idea. And anyway, he was sick for like 3 days. He was so sick. I really thought I was going to have to take him to the hospital. So I had to make sure, that he had water, um, you know, and of course he had, you can imagine all the problems he had with food poisoning. There's no bathrooms around there either. Okay. All right. So I had to tell you this. I can kind of giggle about it now, but I found people leave things around in camps, especially gold mining people. I don't know why. They don't take everything out with them. But I found this old lawn chair, and it had, the webbing in it, but not all of the webbing. So I fixed it so that it was kind of like a chair toilet. Thanks, Kelly. So he had a chair that he could go in the woods and sit down on to go to the bathroom. That's probably more than you want to know, but anyway. Yeah, he was pretty sick. Poor guy. But I told him, I said, don't ever eat anything left in a tin can. Ever. I don't care what it is. Don't eat peaches. Don't eat, especially tomato based something or other. So, yeah. Yeah, I thought it was pretty smart. Um, I'm kind of mechanical like that, you know, that my brain thinks about that kind of stuff. How can I take this and turn it into something not, you know, that'll work for me? That's right. That's right, Kelly. That's the reason why women live longer. Yeah, I did actually had um, more in my car than he had in his camp, so it was a good thing. Yeah, I think that was the last time um, he ever did that. So I'm like, if you have leftover tomato paste, tomato sauce, you put it in a storage container. That's not tin, okay? Yeah, that's right, Teresa. I like that. If I'm ever in trouble, I want you with me. Yes, Melissa, I think so. Um, so yeah, we had that chair out there in camp for 3 weeks. It was great. Um, and I think they do make these little camp chairs for that purpose. But heck, if you have an old chair that has that uh, webbing, yeah, I've had food poisoning too from um, the famous sandwich place. Okay, I was so sick I had to go to the hospital. I put, and it was because of the spinach. Okay, I had them put spinach on my salad or on my sandwich. Oh, you guys. And so then now I'm like so susceptible to food poisoning. I've had it a few times, but that was the worst one. Food poisoning is terrible. It really is bad. Yeah, improvise and adapt. Exactly. Okay, thanks, Susan. This is a Brothers PQ 1500 SL. I really like this machine. I got food poisoning on vacation after eating at a well-known pizza place. Yeah, that's why I don't like to eat out too much, and that's why I have a really hard time going to like potlucks and stuff like that. So, but if I do go, I usually bring a dish that I can eat out of, and then that's all I have because I've just had food poisoning too many times. Which is really strange because I had all the vaccines for that because of where I worked. Um, so I had the vaccines for like hepatitis A and B, I think. Um, so you would think that you know, would be covered. Hi, Christine. How are you doing? Yes, potlucks scare me. Me too, Melissa. All right. And better get this done. So there's some funny stories for you guys. Well, funny now, I guess, right? They weren't so funny at the time. Yeah, when I went to the hospital, I really didn't realize that I had food poisoning. I thought something else was going on because I had never had food poisoning like, before. And it actually makes you feel like, your body is going in shock because you get all sweaty and cold and you're throwing up and you're doing the other thing. Yeah, it's pretty scary stuff. Um, the I've been in shock before, and when you go into shock, you get all sweaty and clammy, and that's exactly what happens with food poisoning. Now, when I start to, let me tell you a little secret, and I don't know why this works, but if I start feeling kind of yucky from something that I've eaten, I drink an Elk seltzer, and within 20 minutes or so, I'm pretty good. I don't know what it is about the Alka Seltzer, but it seems to help. So you might want to try that if you ever get into that situation. It is really bad, Linda. Yeah, when I was in the hospital, I stayed overnight because they had to give me fluids and all that stuff, and it was pretty bad. And I haven't eaten at that place again. No, thank you. Jane says she has. Okay, let's see what machine Mel has. Hi Val, how are you doing? It is really bad, Linda. I hear you. Yeah, it does feel like the flu too. Mel, okay, Mel says I have the same machine, brother machine too, and she loves it. And Jane has it too. Yeah, it's been a good machine. I think I've had this machine 6 or 7 years now, and it really has been a good machine for me. And I used to do all of my free motion quilting with it too. So, and when I first, and I mean, that's one of the reasons I bought this machine is because it said it was good for quilting. And then I bought the long arm frame, and I had this sewing machine set up on the long arm frame, and I used it for probably a good year that way. You don't have that much space, but it does work. Uh, the only problem is you can't hook up the handlebar adapters to this machine, so you still have to use the foot pedal, and so then you have to drag that foot pedal underneath the long arm machine. But I got used to it. you know, I made it work. The reason why you can't hook up, like Grace has the adapter that you can put on a lot of sewing machines so that you can use the handlebars. But this machine doesn't have the slow fast knob on it like the Juki does. So that's why. Yep, it's just a straight stitch. That's it. Doesn't do anything else. Um, it took me about 6 months to decide that this was the machine I wanted. You know, I really did a lot of research, and I really spent a lot of time thinking about what I really wanted out of a sewing machine, because I had a little Kenmore sewing machine that had zigzag and some other stitches on it, you know, and so I didn't feel like I really needed all of those stitches. So, and I didn't see where through the reviews and stuff like that, you know, the Juki machine is quite a bit like this. The only difference between this one and the Juki is that um, slider thing that you can use to slow your machine down or speed it up. And I didn't think that was worth another $500 or $600. So I'm like, well, you know, I've always heard Brothers are a pretty good machine. So it's budget friendly. And I don't think it is as loud as the Juki. Okay. I've heard some of those Jukis on people's YouTube channels, and some of them are pretty darn loud. Yeah, they have a baby lock version too. Yep. Which Baby Lock and Brothers are now um, within the same company. So anyway, I've been pretty happy with it. I got it on sale. I think it was like 600 and something. And it comes with that extension table too. And then it also comes with the lift um, bar that you can use your knee or your leg, you know, to push on it. And it'll lift the feed dogs. Or the foot, I mean, not the feed dogs. Also, it has like 4 different levels that you can set your feed dogs. The other reason I like it is it's not as electronic as a lot of the other ones out there. And so, all right. I gotta stop talking so I can put this on there right. Okay. What do you think? Whoops. Should I leave it? Guess what time it is? I wasn't paying attention. Too busy jacking my jaws. The Chiefs are Super Bowl bound again. Really? Is that, what is a Super Bowl? Oh, it must be coming up. Football game time? Is it Super Bowl day today? I don't know. I don't watch football, so. Lions play at 6:30. Oh, okay. Oh, it is? No, that's February 11th. Okay. Uh, well, that February 11th is when Kay and I are making the next block. So today was the final playoff to see who goes to the Super Bowl. Okay. Gotcha. Didn't the Super Bowl used to be at the end of January? Yeah, Shelley. I used to watch football in my younger days, but I really haven't kept track of it in like 25 years. So Brandon isn't into watching sports. He does like watching like boxing or the other thing that they do now. Um, the MAA or whatever that is. He used to watch that quite a bit. Um, I just usually get up and go in the other room. Kansas City Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. Yay, Kansas City. Yeah, I don't watch. Me too, Mary. Thank you. I think I know where you're going with that. Yeah. I think I must have had little stitches on my sewing machine. So it's a little harder to pick out. There, got it. Okay, now let's make sure I have this right this time. Okay. Kim says she hasn't watched in years, but still gets notices from the news channel. Yeah. Boy, I really messed this up, you guys. Okay. So, it didn't do me any good piecing this together first. Gee whiz. What did I do? Let's see. Oh, man. Okay, this one is correct. This one is correct. That's correct. Okay, I sewed the stem on wrong also. That's correct. That's correct. Okay, so I got to take this piece off too. Oh, did anybody tell me that I was sewing this wrong? I probably had the camera up when I was sewing it. Uh-oh, something happened, Pam? All that talk about food poisoning? Remember to try the Alka-Seltzer trick if you get sick like that. I know it's really important to get fluids back into yourself as soon as possible. Okay. Now, let's see. Let me pay attention here for a minute. Okay, this is correct. Okay. My leaves aren't even correct. But you know what? I think I might leave the leaves like that. I don't think that makes too big of a difference. Let me see. See, it is supposed to go the other way. But I kind of like it the way I have it. So, let me show you. You tell me what you think. I made all kinds of mistakes putting this together, you guys. Okay. If I sew it together the way I have it, this is how it's going to look. But this is how it's supposed to look. Should I change it? Well, if I don't change it, I'm going to have a big opening right here. Of course, they have an opening right there, too. You think my way is good to you? Leave it. Looks good. Okay. Why not? Because if I don't, I'm going to have to take, if I don't leave it, I'm going to have to take this apart and this apart. Teresa thinks I should change it. Leave it. It looks fine. I like your version. Your way. No quilt, please. Looks fine to me. Okay. Teresa, I think you're outnumbered. All right. I'm just going to leave it because I really don't think it looks that bad. And that way, you know, put the quilt all together and then let everybody see it, and then we'll see if anybody can pick out that it was that one block was done incorrectly or not the same as the pattern. So I'm choosing to make a design change. Yeah, the stem doesn't touch the flower anyway. Look. See? The stem doesn't touch the flower anyway. So, which I think is kind of strange. I think this will be fine. Sandy would change it. Yeah, see, if I wouldn't have pointed it out, I don't think anybody really would have noticed. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it for now, put the block up on the wall, and look at it. And if it bothers me after a couple of days, then I will change it. How's that sound? Lisa would change it too. If I like it, that's all that counts. That is true. Looks good to me, says Linda. Pam says, sounds like a plan. Yeah, I like that plan. So I just got busy telling too many stories, I guess. Not paying attention to what I was doing. And that's how that happens. Okay, let's see. Ta-da! At least the points match up. I think it looks okay like that. I mean, it's really not that different. Happy mistakes are the awesome. I enjoyed listening to the stories. Oh, good, Karen. I'm glad. Oh, good. Donna posted a video about that Scrabble quilt setup. You guys ought to check that out. I've always wanted to do that Scrabble quilt. Hi, Kendall. How are you doing? Good to see ya. Oh, good, Teresa. I'm glad. I hope you guys enjoy the stories. Sometimes I wonder what I should talk about, Can always talk everything sewing. Kind of get off track. Okay, I don't think I'm going to start block 10. So I got to change my description of the video. You like it that way, Valerie? Great. How warm is it, Kendall? That's how summer goes. Yep, you're nice and warm and I'm nice and cold. Hey, Barbs. Yep, I agree. She said, I'm new here and welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. But in my opinion, if it bothers you, take it apart. If it doesn't bother you, leave it. I totally agree. Hi, Georgie. How you doing? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? But, you know, even the pattern, the stem doesn't go all the way up to the flower. So that's kind of odd already. Oh, thank you, Valerie. She said, yes, the stories were heartwarming. You don't get that every day. You're so tired. Well, go to sleep, Katie. Like Bob Ross used to say, no mistakes, just happy accidents. Yeah. I used to watch Bob Ross all the time. Hi, Crystal. I'm feeling okay. You know, my life's a roller coaster. Some days it's, you know, painful, and some days it's less painful. Some days, good to see you here. How are you doing? Okay, so, alrighty. I don't have a calendar, but we're going to go ahead and save block 10. If you want to do block 10, go ahead. I do have it all cut out and ready to go, but I'm not going to have time. Tiffany's going to be on in less than a half an hour, so... Yeah, Terry, I know you're going to try that horse. You keep trying to talk yourself out of it, but I think you're going to do it. Wait until you see the next horse. It's really going to be pretty too, I think. So, yeah, I agree, Maureen. Oh, you did? No, no, Katie. I don't know. I can't remember. Val, what town that was in California. But let's see. When I lived in Oregon at the time, and you got to go through Christmas Valley down to, I think it's called Lakeview, and then you go right to go to California towards, is it Redding? That's up north. Um, I want to say something like around maybe Florence. I feel like maybe. Uh, I don't know. I'll have to ask Brandon where that was, and I'll let you know. So, bye, June. You already like the colors for the next horse? Awesome. Thank you, Georgie. I appreciate it. So, anyway, next Sunday, I thought we would work on um, the friendship block, okay? And I have started writing out that supply list. I'm not writing it out like a pattern, but at least you'll have, all the supplies needed and the cutting instructions, okay? So that's what I would like to do next Sunday. And also, if you guys have an idea of what you would like to sew together on the channel, leave me a comment under the video here after the live and let me know. I would love to have, hear your ideas. I like to make bags, pin cushions, project bags, zipper bags, purses, quilts, wall hangings, table runners. It could be anything. It could even just be some craft too. If you have a great craft idea, I'd love to hear it. So, this is your channel too, your place to come and be creative. And so I want to make sure that you're being entertained. Yeah. And we're doing things that you enjoy doing too. So I would love to hear from you. So all of you, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. If I can talk. It's been great seeing all of you, and I hope to see you over at Tiffany's Quilting Live. She will be on next at 4 o'clock coming up. So, Tiffany's Quilting Live. That's okay. I'm up for wacky suggestions. I'm up for that, Kendall. Thank you. So you guys have a great week. I probably will be coming on sometime during the week before Sunday. We'll work on something else. So, alrighty. I'll see you guys. Love ya. Bye.